Hello friends, this is Karen for Picket Fence Studios, and for today's video I have this Slimline birthday card. The products I use are from the last April release. And here I have the escallop framed Slimline dies. This is the Slimline details of a wing stencil. Here I have the Slim Happy Birthday word die. This is inside quotes birthday stamp. And finally, I have more Hot Chicks stamp, which is part of the Seamless Stamps collection. So let's start by placing the More Hot Chicks stamp inside the Misty. And for this card, I'll be using gingerbread premium ink from a scrapbook to stamp these images. Now I'm pressing down very firm to get a good impression. However, I'm inking up my stamp again because I really want a very defined image. And by the way, I'm using Nina Classic Crest Solar White 80-pound cardstock. And here I have a wonderful impression. Let's continue stamping these images. So now I just have to line up this stamp, and this can take me a few more seconds until I am sure I have a correct lineup. Again, I'm inking up the stamp using gingerbread premium ink, which is a Copic-friendly ink, and I'm pressing firmly. But I will stamp a second time for a better impression. You can totally skip the second stamping. I just like a dark outline for my images and a good coverage. I will line up my stamp and repeat all the stamping process. I'm rotating my cardstock inside my memory Misty, and I'm using this one because I wanted to be able to have plenty room to stamp. But you can have the same results with the original Misty, and I have a video showing how to, in case you want to check it out. I have finished stamping, and look how easy it was to create a large background with a 4x4 seamless stamp. Now it's time to add color using my Copic markers, and these are the colors that I'm going to use. I did some basic blending on each image, going from my lightest color to the darkest, and then to my medium shade. And it was very easy to color all chickens because the images are small. However, it took me some time to go through all of them in this panel. The background, or the white space between the chickens, was colored with a very soft shade, which is G20 Copic marker. That way all colors would pop up from the background. Now I'll speed up this part of the video a little bit, and I'll be back soon. And this is how I colored all chickens and the background. I finished coloring the whole panel off screen. Now I'm moving into die cutting this panel, using one of the rectangles dies from the Slimline nested rectangles dies. Additionally, I die cut this scallop frame using the new Slimline scallop frame dies. Next, I have a white Slimline folded card and I adhere washi tape to the middle of the card. Then I placed the Slimline details of a wing stencil on top and applied this Hero Art ink that was very similar to the G20 copy marker that I used on my previous background. I applied the ink using one of my life-changing blender brushes all around the border of the stencil, which is the part that will be visible. I'll speed up this process and I'll be back very soon. Now that I finished with the stencil, I can remove it and I'll be adding the white Slimline scallop frame on top of this folded card using glue. Also, I die cut the Slimline Happy Birthday word die from the background panel. But before I remove the die cut, I stamp my sentiment on this panel that says, "It's your special day," and I used black hybrid ink from Picket Fence Studios. Off camera, I die cut an additional happy birthday die cut out of cream cardstock. Let's add this background now using glue and making sure it's centered. And as you can see, I'm adding more glue to the negative part of the happy birthday so I can place the previous die cuts inside. I'm adding first the happy birthday that was die cut out of cream cardstock. And this is gonna give me a little bit more of dimension when I add the last layer. And don't forget about the small negative pieces, and let's add them all right now using more glue. Now that I have all the small negative parts in place, I'm adding the last happy birthday die cut, and for that I'm applying more glue, and this is how it looks. And as a final touch, I'm adding some shading around the happy birthday so it can pop more from the background, and for that I'm using different Copic markers like C1 and C3. However, I thought it wasn't dark enough, so off camera I added VV23, and I was able to reach for the shade that I was looking for. And this was my card for today. I really hope you like it and try this technique using the seamless stamp. It's very easy and very fun. Thank you so much for stopping by and see ya next time.